So for me, you can see that's my why at the moment. It's really trying to use this technology and the power of AI for a more sustainable kind of planet. The other thing too, just recently to bring it back home to Australia, it's just not emissions reductions, but it's also nature. And we started the podcast of talking about how I love to explore and get out there and be active. And Australia is in a really interesting situation now where we have lots of different things impacting our country, whether it's fires, etc. But whether it's the reefs are being impacted or kelp by the temperatures in the water that are increasing. Around Tasmania now, we've lost 95% of these giant kelp forests, and kelp is incredibly important it's the lungs of the ocean. In fact, it really is important for being able to for oxygenation and reducing carbon. 95% of the kelps died over the last 4 or 5 years around Tasmania. So we're now basically mapping to figure out where those 5% of kelp still exist, and we're working with CSIRO, quite a few different other organizations to identify why the kelp that still exists, why they didn't die, what's potentially in the DNA that is resistant to temperature, and then hopefully replenish and go back and to bring kelp back. And so programs like this, which is about climate resilience as much as it is emission reduction, but this is all based upon use of AI, which I think is a really positive way to use AI